Eliud Kipchoge, was set to race yesterday, and he had a picture of him being surrounded by about like five, six, seven, eight, nine, 10 security in Boston as he was checking in. It was such a boss move, but he ended up finishing sixth. Womp, womp, womp. Now, celebrated Kenyan athlete Eliud Kipchoge on Monday, April 17th, finished sixth in the 2023 Boston Marathon. Kipchoge, who led a pack of 11 athletes to break away, dropped back after 25 kilometers. He clocked a time of 2 hours, 9 minutes, and 23 seconds. 2022 defending champion Evans Chebet won the race after crossing the finish line at 2 hours, 5 minutes, and 54 seconds. Tanzanian Gabriel Gay was at 2 hours, 6 minutes, and 4 seconds. And Beso Kipruto was at 2 hours, 6 minutes, 4 seconds, finished second and third, respectively. Now, Chebet will take home 20.2 million shillings, that's 150,000, for winning the race. He became the sixth male athlete in history to defend his Boston Marathon title back to back. Now, the winning time is the third fastest in the history of the race after Geoffrey Mutai, 2 hours, 3 minutes, and 2 seconds, and Robert Cheriot at 2 hours, 5 minutes, 52 seconds. Other Kenyans in the race included Augustine Choge, Albert Korir, Hassan Chadi, John Korir, and Matthew Korir. Meanwhile, Helen Obiri clinched the title in the 2023 women's professional title. Obiri, who bagged her first ever marathon win, clocked a time of 2 hours, 21 minutes, and 38 seconds. Now, in the victory, she became the only or rather, with this victory, she became the only woman in history to win world titles in indoor and outdoor track, cross country, and marathon races. Ethiopian Beriso Amane and Lona Salpeter from Israel finished second and third, respectively. Amane clocked 2 hours, 21 minutes, and 50 seconds, finishing 7 seconds ahead of Salpeter. President William Ruto led Kenyans in celebrating her stars in Boston. He said, "Congratulations, Evans Chebet, for triumphantly defending your Boston Marathon title, while Wellen Benson Kipruto for bringing home bronze. Your incredible outing, highlighting your daredevil attitude. Eliud Kipchoge, you are the beast, an inspiration to generations to dream far beyond their potential. Hongera." Now, where is the message to our dear Helen? Or maybe by the time he put out that message, she hadn't won yet. I don't know. But anyway, I'll be waiting for that. But yes, um, amazing effort by all the runners. Kipchoge, you're still the GOAT in our eyes, sixth or first. So congratulations to all the runners who managed to make it and cross over the finish line. Now, let me tell you, if there's one bargain buyer in life, it has to be me. I search for bargains. Like I go bargain hunting like a problem, okay? Not so much to the detriment of, just, messing with standards, but a good bargain is good for me because huge chumi is not easy. Now, there's been an announcement by Hussein Muhammad who has announced the drop of unga prices for select brands. The government, through State House spokesperson Hussein Muhammad on Monday, April 17th, announced that prices for maize flour had reduced significantly. In a statement, Muhammad announced that Kenyans would enjoy lower prices for the commodity on select brands. He explained that this was in line with the Kenya Kwanza government's plan to lower the cost of living. Hunger prices have started going down just as President William Ruto had assured Kenyans over the weekend. Now, Mohammed, though, revealed that the prices will not be uniform and that it would retail between 159 and 160 for a 2 kilogram packet. On why brands were retailing at different prices, he explained the prices are dependent on individual millers. Mohammed further praised the president, crediting him for bringing down the price of maize flour. When the president assumed office last year, a 2 kg packet was retailing at 230. Information Chief Administrative Secretary Dennis Itumbi had earlier announced that Unga was retailing between 155 and 160. He wrote, Unga is now between 155 and 160 bob. Handshake spent 8 million a month for subsidy that were barely available for Kenyans while Ruto has used paper. And I don't understand why always go back to the past. As in, like, we have a new president, we are welcoming changes. Does it always have to be a reference book, like, to whatever else anybody else was doing? As in, like, my God, move on. Now, Nandi Senator Samson Cheragay revealed that the reduction in prices was due to Ruto's resolve in lowering the cost of living. A spot check by the press on popular supermarkets established that the 2 kg of maize flour was retailing at 208. Ruto on Friday, April 14th, announced that the public was within a week he would lower prices for 2 kg to from 180 to 150. Now, there's one thing I tend to understand about retailers and selling prices. Now, they usually say the stock they bought at a particular price has to go before they bring in the new stock with the new prices. So that is why immediately checking, of course, the press won't find that prices have changed immediately, but hopefully within the next week or so they would have, or people would be selling fast enough for the new prices to come into play. But for now, you'll still find, and don't get angry at your shopkeeper because you would find that there are some places that still have the same old prices. Okay. Now, finishing off on things business, we have on duty businessmen who gang up against China Square 1 month after government deal. Now, after days of silence, China Square was brought to the public limelight on Monday, April 18th, following a suit filed by 120 traders seeking to stop its operation in the country. Now, the Kenyan trader filed the suit at the High Court, seeking to halt China Square operations as well as those of other foreign firms, accusing them of importing low-priced goods. Under the auspices of the Indigenous Capital Protection Association, the traders also sued President William Ruto's administration, protesting the influx of foreign traders in the country. They accused foreign nationals of taking over businesses, including engaging in hawking, setting up stalls, renting shops, and even selling their goods in their cars. Now, the traders named 40 other companies reportedly owned by foreign nationals. They implored the government to investigate them to establish if their operations affect Kenyan traders. Now, the petition read in part, court to temporarily restrain the director, Kenya Citizens and Foreign Nationals Management Services from issuing Class D and G permits to foreign nationals pending the determination of the petition. In their suit, the team moreover petitioned the Competition Authority of Kenya to investigate and file a report to ascertain whether China Square and other foreign owned businesses are driving Kenyan traders out of the market. By the time of this publication and the press going to the press, China Square had not issued a response to a suit filed by the Indigenous Capital Protection Association. Now, China Square, located in City Mall, which is owned by Kenyatta University, resumed operations following successful talks with the government. It had held its operations indefinitely following protests staged by some Nyamakima traders who accused the outlet of predatory pricing. Trade Cabinet Secretary Moses Kuria castigated the outlet, accusing it of entering the Kenyan market unlawfully, which is ironical because there should be systems in place. I haven't been to this China Square, to be very honest, and I'm very curious how low these prices are because, like, people are up in an uproar, and I really wonder if anything will really actually change because businesses like these have been in existence for a very long time, and it's not only the Chinese who have come in and set up businesses that are putting out goods that are a bit lower than what's there out there in the market. But of course, these business traders feel hard bent, and they feel like they should not be able to trade with people who are putting out goods that are lower than market price. All right. I'll eventually finish visit the China Square and see exactly how low these prices are. But for now, we get back into the music. And we come back with be finishing off with the last bit of the news, including more tragedy on our roads and the instance of a body found in a club's septic tank. All that and more right here on the Breakfast Jam. Absolutely love. You Lopa tattoo when you're far. You know me. And hey, me that song is kusas. It kusas me. It's Soulful Tuesday right here on the Breakfast Jam. And we're finishing the last bit of the news making the headlines this morning. Now, it's still tragedy on our roads as they continue to claim more lives and several feared dead as Tamid bus overturns on the highway. Now, several passengers were feared dead after a bus belonging rather to Tamid Company overturned along the Nakuru Eldoret Highway on Monday, April 17th. Speaking to Kenyans.co.ke, a representative from Tamid Company confirmed that the incident or the accident rather, noting that they had not yet determined the number of fatalities or injuries. Now, witnesses claimed that the bus overturned after heavy rain that was being experienced in the area. The bus was on its way to Malindi from Kisumu with 26 passengers and three crew members on board. Now, witnesses further claimed that the driver of the bus veered off the road after losing control and landing the vehicle in a ditch. Part of the bus was damaged and windows completely shattered on one side. Now, emergency evacuation teams arrived at the scene and rushed the casualties to Molo Hospital for treatment. Now, on April Saturday 15th, 10 people died after a bus lost control and rolled at the Josa area along Mundani Mwatate Road in Taita Taveta County. According to a statement from the National Police Service, the bus was ferrying mourners from a funeral when the crash happened. Further, the statement explained that upon reaching Josa area, the vehicle veered off the road and rolled several times before landing into a ditch about 100 meters from the road. Now, listen, guys, be extra vigilant, be extra careful on the road. Yesterday, we talked about reckless. Right. So we talked about reckless drivers yesterday. We also talked about drivers who may seem to be either intoxicated or not in the best frame of mind to be on the road. Now, today we will talk about the fact that you need to be very careful, especially when it's raining. The Red Cross put out a statement and warned guys of flooding, but not only flooding, just slippery roads. And also with heavy rain comes also sometimes heavy fog. So always just be wary of the markings on the road. Always be wary of the side where the passengers, I mean, where the pedestrians are. Just always have your eyes just trained on the road to be able to just navigate through the fog and the rain. It gets a bit crazy during this time, so just be kachonjo, kachonjo. Now, it would seem that going to the club has now become a thing of life and death as more fatalities are taking place in some of these entertainment spots. And you tend to wonder, how does it get to these points? Now, CCTV footage reveals last moments of man who went missing after brawl with club bouncers. Now, CCTV footage with a timestamp of Saturday, April 1st, revealed the last moments of Emmanuel Omondi, who went missing after a night of partying in Nairobi. In the clip obtained by his father, Julius Odhiambo, Emmanuel was last spotted alive in the hands of bouncers at a popular entertainment joint in Nairobi. Now, Emmanuel was frog marched out of the club by two bouncers who handed him over to their colleagues outside the club. The men removed his belt and started searching his pockets. In the footage, there was a vehicle parked on the left hand side of the main entrance. He claimed that his son was bundled into the vehicle registered under the plate number KBQ, hidden number X, which he tried to track down unsuccessfully. Julius insisted that the seven friends who invited his son to the party had questions to answer about the disappearance. Those who were with him remained with ID card and phone and did not follow up even when my son was thrown out of the club. While looking for his son, a lead popped up on April 10th when an unidentified body was found in the club's septic tank. Unfortunately, the deceased was not his son. However, it left more questions about the management of the entire of the entertainment joint. The entry of the tank is sealed using a metallic chain fastened using a padlock, and only the management has access to it. Emmanuel's family pleaded with the DCI boss Amin Mohammed to help them find their son. Kajiado North County Commander Hussein Gura, who said 17 individuals were questioned to assist police with investigations. How crazy is that? It was not even just his son, it was not his son, it was somebody else in the septic tank of a club. So all this time, merrymaking was happening. People were going about their business. Money was being made as a body was sitting in a septic tank. And the question is not about Emmanuel who is missing, but also about this body that was found inside that tank. Like, my word, what is going on in these clubs? It almost feels like rituals, my friend. Hey, now, um, finally, action is being taken for people who are being detained in hospitals. Now, Sakaja has dissolved Mama Lucy's hospital board after uproar. Nairobi Governor Johnson Sakaja on Monday, April 17, dissolved the board of Mama Lucy Hospital following an uproar over a 26-year-old patient who lost her unborn baby. In a statement signed by Anastasia Nyalita, a county executive committee member in charge of health, a new board was appointed and will be headed by Dorcas Kemunto. Now, Bernard Gituma would serve as board secretary, while 6 other personnel would serve as board members. On the other hand, Gituma also took over as medical superintendent, replacing Dr. Emma Mutio, who was posted to Pumwani Hospital as a specialist. City Hall affirmed that the process of recruiting the hospital CEO was at an advanced stage. The move followed a case whereby a patient arrived at the hospital on Saturday, April 15th, in the company of her relatives. Aside from lower abdominal pains, she complained that she could not feel the regular baby movements. After conducting an ultrasound, the medical team at Mama Lucy Hospital informed their mother that her baby was not alive. The ultrasound scan results came back revealing that the patient had experienced an ultrauterine fetal death at 38 weeks and 5 days. At 7:20 p.m., the patient, who was already in labor, delivered a macerated, which shows skin and soft tissues changes, skin discoloration, darkening, redness, peeling, and breakdown. Stillbirth male infant that were with a birth weight of 2,600 grams. The medical team showed that the patient, the baby, and informed her that the baby had passed away 2 to 3 days before delivery and her visit to the hospital. Now, according to City Hall, the hospital ought to have handled the situation better. The governor had personally spoken to the patient and her family, offered his condolences, and commiserated with them. While there have been improvements in the handling of patients and the level of customer service at Mama Lucy Kibaki Hospital, a lot remains to be done and has been lined up by the county government. This includes the completion of stalled building projects, improving the staff levels, and handover of Mama Margaret Huru Hospital, which will ease the pressure of MLKH, among other interventions. Already, the new ICU and renal facilities are up and running up and offering much needed services to our people, the statement read in part. Now, really praying for these reforms happening in hospitals. And something else happened yesterday. Eric Omondi managed to secure the release of 5 women out of Pumwani Hospital, 2 who had delivered twins. And this is what he had to say. So yes, I do have a rather love-hate relationship with our dear Eric Omondi in my mind. Of course, some of his antics never really just make sense to me, but this one in particular, it just hit close to home. Of course, just seeing um, how women are languishing in these hospitals. There was, I think, expose that was put out some years ago about the languishing and deterioration of the labor ward in Kenyatta Hospital and how women who have not paid hospital bills, like Eric Omodi said, 1,000 here, 3,000 there, are unable to leave and they're left in very deplorable and deteriorating conditions with their newborn babies. And they're left to fend for themselves, which is really disheartening. Hoping the situation has kind of improved. At least 185 people have been killed by fighting. Now, I came across a video yesterday where um, this fighting was taken all the way to the airport. And that situation, you could tell the terror that was happening at that particular time. Now, the UN chief, and I think we're showcasing it right now on our YouTube page. Now, the UN chief said any further escalation of the conflict between the army and paramilitary forces led by rival generals could be devastating for the violence, which erupted Saturday, raged for a third day through Monday, with the death toll increasing to at least 185 people. Volker Perthes, the United Nations special representative to Sudan, told reporters the fighting broke out after weeks of power struggles between the two generals who seized power in a 2021 coup. Now, Sudan's army chief Abdel Fattah al Burhan and his deputy Mohammed Hamdan Daglo, who commands the powerful paramilitary rapid support forces, said, I am in constant contact with leaders of both sides. Feathers told the reporters at the UN headquarters in New York via video link from the Sudan capital. The UN had suspended much of its operations in the country, said Guterres' spokesman, Stephanie Dujarric, who stressed the UN was not going to ask to go staff to go to work when clearly the safety is not being guaranteed. The renewed fighting only aggravates that what was already a fragile situation, forcing UN agencies and our humanitarian partners to temporarily shutter many of our more than 250 programs across Sudan. The impacts of this suspension will be felt immediately, especially in the areas of food security and nutritional support in a country where some 4 million children and pregnant and lactating women are severely malnourished. The UN Security Council held a closed door meeting on the situation in Sudan on Monday morning. The three African members of the 15-member council, Ghana, Gabon, and Mozambique, released a joint statement following the meeting calling for an immediate ceasefire. Our thoughts and prayers are with the people of Sudan, praying that all this comes to an end. Because, we also have our own people there. We do have Kenyans living in Sudan. There's a time, I think, about 15 staff from an NGO lost their lives in one of the most horrible incidences to ever happen in human rights history. And so we do pray that peace will reign in Sudan and this will soon at least be quelled or come to an end. All right, we'll go on a break. When we come back, we'll be looking at two lovers in parliament who are set to get married. If there's one ending that has never made sense to me, it's that one for that particular song. Yeah, you can get it. I was like, that was just forced inside. I did not feel it whatsoever. I'm always like jamming. I was like, yeah, the song is so dope. It's so good. And then the ending, I'm just like, huh? Why? Like, was it necessary? I know when that time came out, it was a big thing. You can get it. Oh my God. All of us are trying to do music with it. We once tried to do a techno, whatever, jam or house jam or whatever during that time. But, yo, me no, not only first kid go. Anyway, that is my rant of the day. Let's get into the weather as we go into 9 a.m. There's a chance of thunderstorms in Nairobi at 19 degrees. Humidity at 75%. Kisumu at 22 degrees, mostly cloudy, humidity at 78%. And in Mombasa, 27 degrees, mostly cloudy, humidity at 82%. I gotta say, I love this weather. The fact that I could be wearing this jacket in this studio and I'll be sweating it out. Where this cold is good. It is a good thing. Homer aside, because yeah, my nose has refused to just behave. All right. Now let's take a look at the major roads as you get about your day. Now, if we look at where is this? Hiya. My yo wait, things have changed. Okay, yes. Somebody seemed to have changed the direction of my map. And I was so shocked because I was like, where are these places? Anyway, so if you look at Ngong Road area coming up past Junction Mall, going into the roundabout past Kenyatta Hospital, it looks like there are pockets of traffic here and there. It is moving slowly because it is a bit bumper to bumper. If we take a look at Jogoo Road, also not too great right about now, as it does seem to have a little bit of traffic here. Okay, not a little bit, it's got quite a bit of traffic right about now. If we're taking a look at Langata Road, also traffic building up, going past the Nyayo National Stadium. It is looking bumper to bumper right about now. Um, um, Thika Road. Yeah, me, this thing has changanyishad me. Somebody has messed with my map. But yes, Thika Road. Thika Road is looking not too nice. It is bumper to bumper past Muthega Square, past Pangani Shopping Center, and going straight into um, the city center is not looking way too nice right there. So if you're on that road, just be very patient and tune into Icon Radio, where we are your number one entertainment plug. And start sending me those requests because I am all about that until 10 a.m. From 9 a.m. to 10 a.m., I got your requests covered. So all you have to do is let me know what you would like to listen to, and we will play it right here on the Breakfast Jam. For now, we get back into the music. And now we will be getting into some of the entertainment news making the headlines today, including two people in parliament who have decided to get betrothed. What a way to usher in these next bunch of stories. Yes, so this is the Breakfast Jam. I'm your girl, Myra Maloba, as you heard James Siegel said. Yes, so we are all about that love vibe right now. Oh, I just love that song by Just a Bad. And we're all about that Kenyan classics right here on the Breakfast Jam. And of course, I want your requests to come in the next hour. So be sure to send them in on +254 788 380030. Whatever you're doing, and whatever way we can help you get through your day, just be sure to let us know and we'll do our little part by just playing the music that you love to hear. And anything goes in the next hour, throwback or not, we got you covered. Now, I totally have a nice love story for you, as love seems to be fluttering around in Parliament, as Madeira MP Eric Wamumbi is set to marry Muranga women rep Betty Maina. And they look oh so happy and in love. Now, for the first time, love is in the air in Kenya's Parliament. I wouldn't say for the first time. I'll tell you why later. For the first time, love is in the air in Kenya's parliament, where two elected MPs are spouses. But their MP, Eric Wamumbi, is set to tie the knot with Muranga's woman representative, Betty Maina. The two are currently living together informally, but Cupid's arrow struck some time back. They will formalize their relationship in an event that will see Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua leading a bride price negotiation entourage from Madeira, as Kiharu MP Ndininyoro plays host on behalf of Miss Minor delegations in Moranga. Now, this was confirmed by Mr. Wamumbi on Inoro TV on Monday. He says, "We have now decided to live together as husband and wife, and Mr. Gashagwa will be my chief negotiator when Madeira meets Muranga for the takeover of her daughter." Now, the first time MP says he met Miss Maina in 2021, and I discovered that she had everything I wanted in a wife. He says they started dating, and during their grueling campaigns of the run-up to the August 9th general election, they decided they were meant for each other. Mr. Nero describes Miss Maina as our clean, beautiful, and smart girl who Mr. Wamumbi will not take for free, and who must be willing to spend time with me as caretaker, our clergy, elders, and Muranga in general. The lovebirds have been dealt blows in their past relationship, Mr. Wamumbi's case being the most serious. He married Catherine Nyambura in 2015 and was blessed with two sons. Then a tragedy struck, and a body was recovered from Howe Dam on May 25th, 2020. Wow. It was a mysterious death described even by pathologists as complex, and Mr. Wamumbi was questioned during investigations, which eventually fizzled out. At the time, Mr. Wamumbi was a Konyu ward representative in Nyeri County. He said, "My wife was the best thing that ever happened to me. She valued family more than anything else in the world. Her death has rather left a huge void in my life and of our two sons." Mr. Maina revealed that she came out of Miss Maina rather revealed that she came out of an incompatible marriage. She has also two children. Now it would seem they're set to walk down the aisle very soon, or rather just get into, the usual traditions with Mr. Gashagwa in tow, or rather DP Gashagwa in tow. And tunasema tu hongera, hongera, hongera. Big shout out to this couple. Of course, we do love a good love story. Finishing off our love story of this morning is Miss Zari Hassan, who has decided to get married to Shakib in a private ceremony. Now, what number marriage would this be, or relationship? Oh, wait. Okay, so there was the Nigerian guy. I don't know if they were married or his baby daddy. Then Diamond, but I don't think they were married. So this could actually be her very first marriage, I think. Could it be? Is it her first marriage? Official marriage? I think so. I think so. So yes, she said to get married. She looks extremely happy in the videos that we are seeing being displayed over there. And she literally has no apologies about her love life. Okay, she does not care what you have to say, what you have to think. Her happiness comes first. Traditions, culture, whatever aside, and I absolutely am here for it. I live for how she just takes life in her own terms, in her own way, and she has just been winning, all the way. And of course, she is in that Netflix reality show. I think it was called African Young African and Rich. Yeah. Something like that. And she was unapologetic. No matter how many people hated on her, she was who she was. And she was like, on her face without even saying it, she was like, deal with it. And this is one of the other situations where she's with a very young guy. I think he's like, 15 or 20 years younger than her. And everybody she's dated ever since Diamond has been younger than her, including Diamond himself. And I'm here for it. I'm absolutely here for it. So people had things to say. One person said Akoze and Zari are a true definition of life starts at 40. Word to that. Another said Himakani are single mothers too. No longer single, my friend. No longer single. We're moving, or they are rather moving on onto greater and bigger things. Another one said, Mashallah, jichola hasidi lisiwaone. Another said, Mimi Namondi tunasikia vibaya bado. Enyewe. But her ring and his ring are absolutely beautiful and they look absolutely love. So another hongera to Zari and the new love of her life. They look absolutely beautiful. They're an amazing looking couple. Let me tell you, there's a gorgeous looking couple. It has to be these two. Woof. Absolutely gorgeous. All right, that is my Gonya for the morning. We'll be going back into more of that after this as we continue to show love for the 254 here on the Breakfast Jam. Yes, that was the I'm losing my words. Hayawani cover. Play right here on the Breakfast Jam. And we're all about that throwback therapy. This particular hour show, Love for the 254. Big shout out to Shrap Daily, who are challenging our playlist and say we need more Kenyan music. 100%. We do need more Kenyan music. And that's why we dedicate this hour and the next hour in which you control the playlist. So whatever you want to listen to, just let me know on +254 788 380030, and you can take complete control of the playlist and educate me a little bit on what we need to be listening to, because I do love a good, you know, a good education on Kenyan music. Let me tell you, to be very honest, I am learning more as I go along, and there's really good Kenyan music out there. The other thing, if you really, really want to listen to 100% strictly Kenyan music, then you need to tune into the hookup every Thursday with Saisa and Nafsihuru as they bring you amazing Kenyan artists, amazing Kenyan music from Mombasa to Nakuru to Kisumu, things that you would never really hear on any other place apart from the hookup. The Vault Pier is a nice, good place where you get spoiled for choice with amazing Kenyan jams. So, absolutely love the appreciation for Kenyan music. Of course, we try to show you here at Icon Radio. So, be sure to tune in to those particular shows. And of course, every morning between 8 a.m. to 9 a.m., right here on the Breakfast Jam, where we are all about your throwback therapy. Now, there's a story right here that, yes, could be deemed as juicy, but it kind of like, just, blurs the lines a little bit on the morality side. And when I say the morality side, I mean in regards to what could be seen as outing someone. Now, doing a recent YouTube video with Dennis Curry, makeup artist Johnny Hairdresser revealed he is dating Oga Obina. Okay. So this is exactly what he had to say. I hope that clip is ready. Okay, yeah. This is what I'm sorry, not he, they had to say in this particular clip. Take a listen. So yeah. Of course, the tea has been spilt. Um he's being talked about, unable to defend himself. So there are two ways you can look at this. You can look at it as simply just tea being spilled, and from the comments I'm seeing, yeah, guys were just, basically just, salivating on that. But the other thing is, if indeed he is, probably swinging the other way, isn't that just simply outing the man? Like, why would you do that? If you're an advocate for LGBTQIA plus rights, then outing anyone in any capacity, entertainment or not, is something that you should never do to a person ever. Okay, it is something that has brought a lot of harm to a lot of people. It has led people towards drastic measures, being outed. It literally is for, so for people who have to go to society trying to claim who they are, they would be they should know that this would be the worst thing they could do to anybody. I'm not saying it's true. Not whatever, in whatever case am I saying it's true whatsoever. I'm not saying it's true. But if it is true, yeah, let's say hypothetically it's true, then they just served to out somebody, and it's one of the most disgusting displays I've ever seen in entertainment. Like, fine, get your likes, get your follows, but never out a person. Now, Oga Obina responded in the comment section for Nairobi Gossip and said, Sasa huyu ni nani yawa? Mimi ni team Rose Coco Jamani. I am lesbian. The other thing I'm not here for, again, is just the slurs, man. The slurs. There are so many things wrong about this. And the comments that are there in the comment section are not too nice. I'm just trivializing the entire conversations, okay? The entire conversation. So I don't know what your thoughts are. Mine are just simply that. My problem was they might have outed somebody, and I feel it's disgusting. Never should you ever take that position in life where you feel like you have control over somebody else's life, to be able to out them. Okay. But also, just a story. What are your thoughts on the story that Oga Obina might have been, getting together with Johnny, hairdresser? Let me know your thoughts and comments on our WhatsApp number +254 788 388 0030, as well as in the YouTube channel over there in the comment section. I'd love to hear what you have to say. I'd love to hear what you think. Be sure to hit me up and let me know, and let's chop it up as we wait for our icon of the day. Let's get back into the music. We are all about your requests this hour. So let me know what you like to get played on +254 788 388 0030. Anything goes. Anything goes. As long as it's nice and clean, just send it in and we'll play it for you. You are our masters. You are in control. Just let me know and I got you covered.
Breakfast jam. Breakfast jam. Yeah.
Yes, that is our dear Fee alongside King Kaka with Ruka play right here on the Breakfast Jam. Yes, and we do have our icon of the day checking in. So we'll just have you wait on the other side just a little bit and then we'll get you in just a bit. Now, listen, we introduced a new segment yesterday. We called it Must Be Nice. And here we're all about that must be nice segment right now. So, in our must be nice segment, we are looking at the one and only Moya David. Yes, Moya David got a new Land Cruiser Prado TX. Now, he acquired it as he celebrated his 26th birthday. Now, you're on your 26th birthday, people who are at our age. What were you driving? What were you riding in? So, yes, big congratulations to Moya David. I absolutely love this content creator. He just makes me smile when he makes other people smile. Exactly to the point that he's able to get his own, mods. It seems all these young content creators are driving big, heavy diesel guzzlers. We have Moya David. We also have Crazy Kenna. Who else do we have? Who's young? Okay, I can think of those two currently. Of course, because I'm biased because I love them so much. But yes, Moya David, big congratulations to you. He's been getting congratulations across the board from even the Pluto, who also is not actually driving a small car. He's driving also a diesel guzzler, I think. So yes, it must be nice to be having such a nice and a big car to be driving around the streets of Nairobi with. So take it slow on the roads, take it easy, and enjoy your wins every single time. Next on Must Be Nice. We need a drop like that. Anyway, next on Must Be Nice, we have businessman Victor Mutunga who gifted his wife Faith a Mercedes Benz ML350 on their wedding. The Kenyan businessman Victor Mutunga gifted his wife the Mercedes Benz while Kenyan musician KRG The Don offered to fuel the car for the next 3 months. Hey, way. Hey, to be here, the wife at this time. Hey, me, I couldn't have been at that wedding. I won't even lie. Okay. Probably would have thrown mud at the from all the jewelers. Hey, for all the women who were standing around there, I'm sure, hey, they were just over there just looking and wondering, when will it ever be me? So big congratulations to Victor Mutunga and Faith Kilu, and especially to Faith Kilu, who got this particular car. Now, the motor company that sold this particular car has been mentioned. So I don't know if it is an advertising gimmick or it's for real. But either way, congratulations for even riding in it either way. All right. As we finish off our Must Be Nice segment, we are looking at okay, why have I lost that story? And I had it just here. Okay. So since I can't find it, I'll finish off with a story that all right. No wait. No, I've actually lost the story. Anyway, yes, to finish off this particular segment, it can be a must be nice, depending on how you look at it, on which side of the coin you are. But Manzua Kibera was engaged to a 66-year-old boyfriend. I was talking about it with my producer Joy. I said I wouldn't talk about it. I was like, I do not have time for this story. But since I can't find my other story, it must be nice for somebody out there. And it's a very, very interesting display that we're seeing over here. The one thing I just want to see her do, just for curiosity's sake, just for curiosity's sake, just for curiosity's sake, not because I really want to see it, is actually her showing affection to this guy. Not at just little pecks here and there. Like actual affection to prove to us that she is actually in love with this guy. It is very possible. I am not saying it's not possible. I'm not saying the love could not be real. I'm just saying I just want to see a little bit more affection so that I could just, kind of like understand and believe the story. That's just me. That's just me. All right. Our icon of the day has stepped in as we finish up the Must Be Nice segment. And we go on to discover what she has been doing as she moved to another town. Keep it right here as we go back into the music and usher in Adero Ocholler. Yes, we're all about your requests this morning between 9 and 10 a.m. So be sure to send them in. Don't say, okay, I didn't do anything for you. I am playing your music. I think that's the best thing I can do for you in this weather. So be sure to send them in on +254 788 380030. We are indeed live on www.iconradio.co.ke and on youtube.com/@ Icon Radio KE. Be sure to hit me up. Let me know your requests. And of course, just trying to get to the conversations of today. In studio today, we've got the one and only Adero Ocholler. If you've never known her, now you will. Okay. Karibu sana, Miss Mrs.
Mrs.
Ocholler.
Mrs.
Hey, let me tell you, let me not get it wrong. Mrs.
Mrs.
Ocholler.
Nimetoka soko kitambo sana.
Umetoka kitambo sana you're
Yes.
booked and busy.
Booked, stamped by cab, everything.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we usually celebrate our icons of the day on Tuesday.
Oh,
And seeing that
nice.
you've come down all the way from Nax.
Nakuru,
Hey,
baby.
let me tell you, I don't know what's the code for that place. It's 312,
Uh,
321.
have I even ever known?
You've never known. Okay.
Not really.
Let me not
We're
test you
just
right
on the
now.
Vegas.
Ah,
Yeah, we're just on the,
the
Vegas,
Vegas
and what
trip.
happens there remains there.
Yes. Now, you have been known from a young age
Mhm.
for just being literally a lover of life,
Yeah.
being very out there and not being ashamed of it.
Yeah.
And for the people who know you, they know you for just your big personality
Yeah.
and the work that you've also been dedicating yourself to,
Yeah.
which would be just being a defender of justice out there.
Yeah.
Now, you're a mother, you're a wife,
Yes.
you're an entrepreneur.
Yes.
You started the popcorn movement,
Movement.
which we'll get to in a little bit.
Yeah.
And you also made a big move to a different city. Now,
Yes.
for those of us who have, either thought of doing it because they just want to change
Mm-hmm.
or had to do it because of work commitments or something, there's
Yeah.
always that fear.
Yeah.
That fear from yourself about leaving your family behind,
Yeah.
about leaving your way of life,
Yeah.
about the unknown,
Yeah.
and also for even this fear from the people you live with. Like, I remember when you left, I was just like, no way.
Yeah. Like
We studied so much.
separation anxiety.
Anxiety.
Yeah.
So, how was it for you moving to Nakuru, just deciding to,
Mhm.
get into that frame of mind and saying, I'm doing this for the betterment of my family?
Yeah. So first, Myra, thanks so much for having me on the show. I'm
Of
so
course.
excited to be here. I'm so excited to see you.
Likewise.
Because girl things, you're my girl from back in the day. So thank
Mm.
you so much for having me at Icon Radio, wherever you are listening to my fans. Yeah, I hope you're well. So yes, moving to Nakuru was not easy.
Right.
Actually, we moved because my husband, shout out Mojo,
Shout out.
he's asleep because he's in a different whatever country.
But do you say?
I just mentioned. So yeah, we moved because he got a job opportunity with Menengai Oil. So as usual, it is the women who have to, for real though, like let's be real, it's the women
Yeah.
who always have to sacrifice. 80% of the time, most of the time, it's the
Yes.
women. So because I had gotten out of employment and self-employed, I had a small restaurant running. I decided why not. So sold
Right.
the restaurant. Wasn't easy. The attachment to all that, the
Mm.
attachment, as you said, to my friends, and just being someone who was born and bred in Nairobi.
Right.
I was at first. I actually had domes with him. Like I was like, you know what? If this is the peak of separation, you go.
Okay.
Yeah. So we tried at first where he'd have to be on the road, like driving every time, to and fro after training. And I figured I'm being selfish
Mm.
because he'd have to be on the road like from training because he's a rugby coach.
Right.
He'd drive down, like he's on the road at midnight, and then after one day he has to go back, and then paying rent for 2 houses wasn't just cutting it.
Mm.
Yeah, so I decided to make the big move. So we left everything behind. like literally sold everything. Like we moved to a furnished apartment,
Right.
and I had fear that Sikwabai, I was like, hey, Nakuru is a shady town. Like I am going to be a mshamba. Like okay, those are just some. I'm just like Nakuru. How do people live and
Right.
live out of Nairobi? Like Nairobi is the place to be.
Right.
So the beginning, let's say the first year, and I was also concerned about my son. I only had one, Akim.
Right.
So I was like, how will he adjust?
Mm.
I was like, which school will he go to? Like, will he start
Mm.
shabbing? And you're Sikwabaya. I'm not hating my Nax family. I love you. Yeah, but
It was in your thoughts.
yeah, I was just like, what?
Mm-hmm.
So, surprisingly enough, when we moved to Nakuru, like to be honest, Nakuru farm is warm. I
Mm.
think Nairobi, if I compare the people, actually,
Right.
Nakuru people are so warm. Like when we just landed, there was already a family hosting us to have dinner. Like don't do
Wow.
anything. Yeah, so we had dinner at. Shout out to Jotham Owili. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Of Nakuru RFC. Him and his family hosted us, and I was just like, wow, this is
Wow.
not what I thought. And even for school, there were already referrals. He'll go to
Right.
this school. Told him, "Yeah, you guys look like this school. Yeah,
Mm.
Montessori is yours anyway."
Yeah.
And I shall get to the price. I mean, school fee
Eh.
compared to Nakuru compared to Nairobi.
You
Yes.
give us Suku over here, just house
Yeah.
palpitations.
Yeah,
Okay.
even when we're getting the fee structure, I'm like, are you sure? Are you sure? Like, is this for break? This amount, is it for break and lunch? I'm told it's the whole fee. I'm like, okay. And it's a Montessori school anyway.
Mm.
So kids adjust so fast. So Akim didn't even know, like he was excited because where we moved there was a pool.
Right.
So and there are other kids. So that was out. The stress was now out for me. Now it was me to adjust.
Mm.
So feeling like, okay, what am I going to do?
Right.
Where do I start with job opportunities? Just yeah, basically, I was like for the first let's say 1 year,
Yeah.
I was in Nairobi every weekend. Yeah, and I remember guys were just like, it's okay, let her, and they're telling my hubby, let her go. Imagine she'll get bored, like she'll get
Yeah.
tired.
Yeah.
So he was like, I can't drive you down to Nairobi every time. So
Right.
figure. I learned how to use a Molo line,
Yeah.
shuttle.
There we
Shout
go.
out to Molo line. So every Friday, I'm like, like I felt I have to be Nairobi. Then just all of a sudden now, even
Mm.
convincing me to come, you see me after like 7 months. Coming
Yes.
to
We
Nairobi
miss
now.
you. Mm.
Yeah, when I coming to Nairobi, I have to have a whiteboard, a plan. Like okay, yeah. So I've adjusted, and I love Nakuru city. And to be honest, I wouldn't move back to Nairobi.
Yeah, you told me many times. Even
Yeah.
if we've tried to bribe you, give you gold, nothing.
Unless you're giving me a job at Icon Radio and you're giving me squillions. Uh,
Wacha
then,
tuongee nyuma ya tent.
yeah,
Tuongee
yeah.
nyuma ya tent.
Okay.
Yes. So this the it seemed like it was a crazy venture, I'm sure, for everybody who was looking in and wondering how could you just pick up and
Yeah.
leave. But of course, family is family and you need to follow,
Yes.
with your
Where
husband.
you go, I will go. My people, we say those things during our vows.
Yes.
Then we're like, hiya.
It's for real.
My people shall be your people. Where you go, I shall go.
So
Yeah.
mentally speaking, how was it for you settling down?
As mentioned before, like I think what made it easier was the people around me, and around us, and just holding our hands. Moseti, I always mention Moseti. Shout out to
Mm.
you. Just showing us that what there's nothing much you're missing in Nairobi. It's the same. It's the same. The malls are the same. The entertainment industry is kind of the same.
Right.
So mentally, I was hippie, but I just bounced. Like I was on my feet. I was being involved in activities.
Right.
I'm an avid rugby fan,
Mm.
so going for rugby games and just being involved in stuff like come here, help us do this, come here, help us do this. And I did when I realized that I have so much to give,
Right.
and people actually like I'd go somewhere and they're like, you Adero Ocholler. I'm like,
Mm.
yes, that's me. How do you know me? Facebook. I'm like, oh hi.
Right.
Sign an autograph. Okay. So I think also just knowing that people know you and there's nothing much you're missing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that just made me settle. And Nakuru and Nairobi are not far apart.
No.
My family was also supportive. My parents,
Right.
and I think having a dad who was a government, like he was very involved with the government official, and for for him having moved different towns.
Right.
I think
It
God,
wasn't
I would think I was
abnormal.
being prepped, yeah, because
Right.
we've lived in Kiambu, Kisumu,
Oh
Nyandarua.
wow.
So just moving wasn't as hard.
Right.
So and I just had to do it like mentally, and then making friends. I made friends so fast, and yeah, just being busy and getting involved with the community, with the people. Yeah, and I just settled. Boom, and I'm actually on my 6th year. This is my 6th year in
Wow.
Nakuru. Yeah,
I didn't even know went by that fast, but
yeah,
I love it. You know, first of all, I have to attest to the warmth of the people in Nakuru.
yes.
They got us through COVID. I wouldn't even lie. The click, big shout out to guys at the
The
click.
click,
Big,
boy,
big
DJ
shout
Euro.
out. Yes.
Yes,
Even in fact,
Azu
yes.
is listening in. Yeah,
Because they're the ones who are entertaining us during that time.
yeah,
And all of a sudden, my friends became I became their friend, and my
yes,
friends became their friends. It became
yeah,
one big happy
yeah.
Nakuru
And I'm
Nairobi
like, huh?
family.
How did these guys come to you? What?
Yeah.
But they're my friends.
You're overtaken.
Yeah, exactly. Without an indicator.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah,
Exactly. So yes, though it takes you getting out of just your comfort zone to be able to discover other people who are doing and who are just amazing people all
yeah.
around. We've got hosted the click here at
Yes,
Icon Radio.
yeah.
And of course, yeah. So it's just amazing just seeing how you are able to do that and just
Hmm.
show people that it's okay and it's all right.
Yeah.
Now, when we come back from the break, I want to go back into the work that you started here and continue to do in Nakuru and what you've been able to do
Okay.
within your community while you are out there, making
All
you
right.
our icon of the day. All
Yeah.
right, if you have any questions for Mrs. Ocholler, get the name right.
Roll the R. Adero
Roll the R.
Ocholler. Roll the R.
There we go. Be sure to highlight us on +254 on
Yeah.
that YouTube channel comment section right there. Before now we get back into your requests as we continue on with this hour. Keep it right here on the Breakfast Jam, where we are your throwback therapy. Adesha stepped in and Azuko just reignited my love for old school. We
Old
play
school.
old school, but that was nice. That was
Yeah.
Motown Philly
Yeah.
with Boys to Men and Round and Round with Tevin Campbell.
Yeah,
Like you,
baby.
you take my Damu back,
Back, way back. Like
like a
80s,
baby.
80s baby and proud.
Ah, there we go.
Yeah.
Now, um, you moved to Knox and not long after COVID happened.
Yes.
And again, you're in a different town.
Mm-hmm.
This is happening.
Mm.
Everybody's going mentally, psychologically, physically crazy.
Yeah.
And um, there are a lot of stories that are coming out during that time.
Mm.
Um, and you found yourself sharing these particular stories,
Yeah.
which led you, kind of led you back to your movement, which was popcorn movement.
Popcorn movement.
So maybe
Yeah.
you could tell us a little bit about popcorn movement, how it got started, and
Yeah.
then how it's followed you on even into where you're living right
Right.
now.
Okay. So, popcorn movement, and for those who are wondering why popcorn, so this just goes back to an incident that happened, insecurity. There were a lot of carjackings and muggings happening when I was still staying with my parents in Kile. So I was also victim of being jacked at gunpoint
Wow.
with my hubby then boyfriend, my sister, her fiance then, right outside my parents' gate, like
Oh my word.
at like 7:30 p.m. I'm like, you
Yeah.
guys have guts. Like people come out, but they're just telling you, go back to the house, I'm away off you. So it happened and it kept on happening every Tuesday.
Yeah.
So I
Oh, it
was
was a Tuesday thing.
every Tuesday, like they had a timetable.
Oh my
Tuesday,
God.
7:30, we are coming for
Yeah.
whoever is next, and they'd come to the same spot.
Right.
So I was just like, honestly, there's definitely something wrong.
Right.
Where are the cops? Where are the, there's so much insecurity. How do these guys have the guts to come every Tuesday?
Mm.
So later on, I remember Chow Tole of Capital was also jacked.
Right.
There's a pregnant lady who was jacked and beaten up right in front of our eyes. Then my mother was jacked, and hers was actually so bad, like the car disappeared. Up to now, it's never been found. And they took her to Denderu,
Jeez.
and big up to Power Social Media, and just thanking everyone
Right.
who, I shared it on social media, the plates, and it went viral. I think in 30 minutes we had over 1,000 tweets and retweets, and yeah. So popcorn movement, popcorn is because I was like, the cops. I approached them. I'm like, we are being jacked. You all are watching it like a movie, so you're just sitting down, eating popcorn,
Right.
and watching this jacking. So that's how the popcorn movement started. Organized a demonstration to the cop station.
Just daring.
Yeah, it was daring. I mean, everyone was like, you're putting your life in danger. But I am so big about, like, I hate injustice. I hate it. If you
Right.
know me well, I just think life should be fair at some point when it comes to justice. So we went to the police station, and big shout out to Celia and Nate, because I remember Nate Kariuki, our friend, was vying for political seat.
Right.
So I brought him in and I'm like, tell me what you're going to do about, because you want to be MCA Kileleshwa. So what are you going to do about it?
Right.
So Nate came in, he was chap. Celia Kathambi, she's the CEO, ICA. Shout out,
Yeah.
Celia, I know you're listening in. So we organized a demonstration, brought in the media, and I really want to thank them. Capital FM came in and we marched. I remember we got KJ, Evans Kidero, because then there were leaders, elected leaders, or
Right.
because I was like, Evans Kidero, your office is in Kileleshwa, and we are being jacked. So yeah. So, and I think it made a very big difference, because now there was awareness. Like people who didn't know that you can be jacked at 7 p.m. were now aware. I remember, like, from where my parents stay now, there's a barrier, because I was like, are you guys waiting for someone to die?
Right.
So that you
You act.
Yeah, so neighbors came together, and there's still a security group until now.
Right.
And even in the last election, it's so funny. Guys are like, you're not vying for Kileleshwa. I'm like, yo, I'm in Nakuru now, so you guys have to, step in and ensure that security in Kileleshwa still remains as is. I've been here for a couple of days. I think, unfortunately, with the skyscrapers that coming up,
Yeah.
it's crowded. Kile is crowded. Yeah, so there's a Spider-Man. I've been told about Spider-Man, and I shall look
I
for him.
can't.
I hear there's a guy who's scaling up walls. and
Wow.
actually like has the nerve. He's coming, scaling up walls and coming down
Oh my word.
into like your living room. You're watching telly and Spider-Man is there. So um, yeah, I think popcorn movement made a big difference,
Right.
and I will say for the guys who are involved, and even there was a change of guard uh, at the police station, and
Right.
right on from there was a difference. There
Nice.
might be some insecurity now, but I think people are aware, and that makes me happy that we created awareness, and
Love it.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
because at the time I was telling my husband, you are not moving me to Kile.
You see, yeah.
It is no longer living or a suburb.
Kileleta was known as gangsters' paradise.
So yeah, I was like, every time
Yeah.
we go and visit his friends, I'd be like this.
Yeah, anyone knocks at the door, you're
Why?
like, take the phone.
You see
Yeah.
Andudi passing by, you're like, hey,
Yeah.
please leave me alone. Yes,
Yeah.
it was so high, but you did such an amazing job
Yeah.
at just highlighting the just the criminal activity that was happening there.
Yeah.
Then moving to Nakuru,
Mm-hmm.
I remember the time you shared a story
Mm.
of people being beat down and arrested within the confines of their home
Yes.
in the name of COVID.
Yes. Yes.
So this
Deep
followed
story.
you, yani, it's even without even
Followed me. Yeah. Someone reached out. I need help. I know you found a popcorn movement.
Wow.
You can do this. There's injustice happening here. We highlighted the story, or rather, because I felt maybe I might not have the grounds in Nakuru, but we shared it with the relevant people who are known,
Yeah.
and it was out. And I think somehow it was sorted, like in terms of a follow up by Gava and everything. So uh, there we go again. I was just like, you can't do this to people. You can't now take advantage of the COVID situation.
Right.
Uh, if you're supposed to be a 5 or you're supposed to protect me, you cannot come and beat me up. I've done nothing wrong. And you want
Exactly.
to take chum from me. Yeah.
Mm.
So I think, as you said, there was a moment of mental, mental health issues. People
Right.
were, even the security forces were going through their own things. COVID affected all of us.
Everyone.
Everybody, yeah.
Yeah.
The people the husbands who are used to sleeping in the bar now had to be stuck in the house with the wives, and so there was a lot of we were dealing like 3 incidences where I had to step in to like stop GBV,
Wow.
as a neighbors, yeah.
Yeah.
So I think, yeah, I still move with the popcorn movement, playing my
Right.
part even in Nakuru where I can.
You also um during that time started hosting an online show.
Big up, we shall be back.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you literally, as you're going through your own thing, were having to highlight a
Mm-hmm.
lot of the things that people are going through in their own homes. In fact, I think through you is when I learned usikimia, about usikimia,
Yes.
and Jerry, and the work that Jerry Wamigu was
Yeah, is
doing at
doing.
the
Yeah.
and is doing at
Yeah.
at that time.
Yeah.
You also highlighted some people who are like just mentally going through it with fights of alcoholism
Yeah.
and issues within their marriages and their homes.
Yes.
How do you take it all in? That has always been my question. Like,
Yeah.
you hear about a lot, you learn about a lot, you're
Yeah.
brought for a lot.
Yeah.
How do you manage to take all of that in and still have to deal with your own stuff?
Ni God, maze.
Amen.
Like for real, this one is for real, ni God. I don't know. I think.
I mean, people come to you like you're Mary Magdalene,
You know?
as in, like everybody comes to confess to you.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah. I imagine I took it in and I've taken it as a gift.
Yeah.
It's God given, and I'm not just saying it for the sake
No,
of
it's
saying it.
true.
And my folks always say from a tender age, even growing up, like I'm the one who would just sit with a guest. Like I would easily be stolen because someone will walk in, I don't even know who they are, like maybe they're a kidnapper, and I'm just there, hi, what's your name? And I'm
Mm.
just sitting down and listening to what they have to say. So I think it's something from a tender age, and I think I've just been given the gift of tolerance, and empathy. I
Right.
empathize. I hate seeing people suffering. Um, I feel like I can, sometimes just listening
Mm-hmm.
lifts the burden.
Right.
Just listening. I might not be able to do anything financially, but mentally for you, because I'm also big on mental health.
Right.
So I think I just have the cushion,
Right.
yeah, to take it in and help where I can. If I can't help you, I can connect you to who can help. Actually, that's what everyone even tells me. Please give me a job. I'm like, I'm also looking for that contract.
All right.
Yeah, so you all need to elect me for
Uh-huh.
P27.
We are there behind
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, so I'm glad I can take it in. I'll just say it's a gift that I am running with. I run with.
It's a
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
big gift.
Yeah.
Also, like a lot of people feel like you're obligated towards. I've seen that before. Obligated towards helping them in one way or another. And
Yeah.
if you don't,
Yeah.
Dash
There's
is a mean person.
entitlement. Yeah, I've
Mm.
gone through the rough. So I think I have the cushion for that, and then I have the cushion for haters. Like, yeah, I'm just like, please make me important.
Yes,
I'm trending.
wasalimia. Hi,
Hi,
hater.
haters. So anyway, I think not everyone will conform to what you're doing or what you have to say.
Right.
So, and that's part of life. Myra, I might go mention Myra Maloba. Someone said like, oh, Myra, like Myra this and this, but you know what you're doing. You know what you, I mean, first of all, congratulations, Icon Radio. Like,
Thank you.
yeah. So there'll be challenges ahead, but once you put your mind to, and you know what you're doing, and the end game of it, then you move.
I know. As in,
Yeah.
why are people like that? I always say, why do you live in my past when I don't even vacation there?
Thank you.
As in, please.
Exactly. That's why it is past.
Hey,
Yes.
yes, keep it pushing.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, let's take a short break and keep your requests coming in. We're going to be finishing off with a dash on this particular hour. And of
Yes.
course, if you have any questions or any comments, be sure to hit us up on +254 788 38 0030 or the YouTube channel right there. As Franklin Mwango says, kudos to Myra and Adero. Thank
Yay,
you.
that's my brother.
Hey, hey.
Thanks, Franga. By the way, shout out to my siblings, my
Mhm.
number one fans.
Big
Yeah.
shout out to them and big shout out to you who are listening in. Keep it here as we finish off talking to Adero, Justice Defender.
Yes.
And of course, all around good vibes person right here on the Breakfast Jam.
Oh, nice. I could go on and on. Let's
Okay, no, I'm married, but sometimes the weekend just sounds like eh. Anyway, that's a story for another day. But yeah, that was a weekend with Philip coming right here on the Breakfast Jam. Where we're all about that throwback therapy for all those people who love throwback music. I got you
Yay.
covered from Monday to Friday. And of course, we're all about your requests. So if you have that request, that burning song you want to listen to, anything goes right now, just let me know. This is officially the Breakfast Jam extended hour, special hour, just because I know she's here.
Yeah, for us bunnies,
And he
Kawinta
asked
bunny.
bunnies.
Yeah, yeah, because I'm still struggling with jet lag from Nakuru. Yeah, so such things.
Yeah, you're a winter bunny. Oh, God.
Yeah.
First of all, the fact that you guys don't even have mozzies to deal with, I am so jealous.
A bit depends. January,
Azimerudi,
yeah, January is hot, but the weather is warm. Actually, I've been struggling these past few days.
the way you used to floss for us. Hey,
Yes.
ati we can leave our windows open at night. Hey, kumbe.
Kumbe.
Zimewafikia.
Yes.
Right. So if you just joined into the show, we are with Adero Ocholler.
Roll the R.
Roll the R and get the name right. Mrs. Please,
Yes.
MRS, not
Yes.
MISS.
Mrs.
Okay.
Exclamation mark.
There we go. Yes. So she is a justice defender, an entrepreneur, yet just an all around ambassador of good vibes.
Good vibes.
Yes. And
Good
she's in
vibe because
studio
this
with
life
us.
is short.
Her articles, life, yes,
Yeah,
life
life
is
is short.
very, very
So,
short.
yeah.
So, yes, of course, you have to just be happy all
Yeah.
the time
Yeah.
or whenever you can manage.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So, again, you've just been now in two different environments, but clearly you've been used to it because you grew up in these two, like many different environments.
Yeah.
But also because you take on a lot
Yes. Yes.
from a lot of people,
Yeah.
and you take it with so much grace.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what have you been doing recently?
Okay. So, basically, my justice be our shield and defender scenario still goes on. Um, I try to get involved in anything that makes a change in life. I
Right.
want to mention and give a special shout out to the Kenya High School girls.
Hey, hatutalala, hatutalala.
Yes, yes, I was in the Kenya High School.
Okay.
The. Yeah,
Mhm.
so just like recently we had the Boma Education Run.
Great.
That happened on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd like to first recognize Nora and Louise. Nora Namache, I don't know if they're listening in, but these are girls who cleared from Boma,
Right.
like before me.
Yeah.
And they started the initiative of educating a needy girl. You
Wow.
know, in circumstances where there is educate a needy girl and maybe it's 2 or 3 students, they came up with the idea of bringing ex-Bomerians together and then raising funds. And the target this time was like 200 meter so that you can educate a couple of girls.
Wow.
And interesting is I was given a story about Nora's, why she decided to come up with this initiative is because herself as a ex-Bomerian had to take a year off school because she
Wow.
comes from a family of 17 children.
Weh.
Yes. Namache, yeah.
Weh.
Yeah, 17 kids. So I think
Amazing.
there's a time, the struggle financially. She had to stay out of school for 1 year.
Yeah.
And so because that affected her, she decided to educate, like bring the initiative of educating needy girls. And that's how the Boma Education Run came through, and it's going to be something that will be held yearly. So I am glad to be part of it now,
Nice.
a part of the organizing committee, and it was such a good thing to see it successful and ex-Bomerians just coming to support. And so just much shout out to them. And so those are the types of initiatives I am involved in right
Nice.
now. Anything to do events, that's like my main target now and core. Where it's a life-changing experience. I'm involved. So I am a jack of all trades.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I even sell land. I'm a broker.
Ish.
I sell Airbnb. So yeah, I do everything, anything
Niko na
that can
kazi
put-
kukupatia.
exactly that can put something on the table. But yeah,
Nice.
so basically community-based events and activities is me. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing stuff.
Mhm.
And you said now, let's talk a little bit about the differences between Nakuru and Nairobi.
Mhm.
Let's start na fees. I was shocked.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's funny, like whenever you leave Nairobi, you hear the fees are like 100K,
Yes.
20K,
Yeah.
and it's nice private schools.
Yes.
Whereas here we're paying
Uh,
70K,
700,000 millions,
our
Bob.
our ancestors' land, all of it.
Exactly. Exactly.
So like it's a little bit easier for misconceptions to just
Yes.
demystify and break misconceptions
Okay.
about living outside of Nairobi. What are the major differences you notice when you are out there?
So, major difference. Number one, again, and I don't know if it's the environment, but Nakuru folk and community are more. They're more welcoming.
Yeah.
They are warmer. Um, it's like how you'd grow up in the village where houses are together and it's a community. I feel like in Nairobi, people are more disengaged with whatever is happening in each other's lives.
That's
I don't
true.
know if it's but I actually believe uh, the pressure in Nairobi is crazy.
You can't
And
take on
that's
anybody
why,
else's
yes,
anything else.
so you can't handle anything else. I'm not saying in Nakuru there's no pressure. I mean, you have to survive, you have to live. However, something like the cost of living. For example, when we left Nairobi, we were paying 70,000 for playgroup, like for Akim to go and write on someone's wall.
Yes.
We're paying 70,000. And when we moved to Nakuru and he joined a Montessori school, we were given a fee structure of 20,000. Yeah. So, um, like things like rent, housing in Nakuru, you will get uh, 40,000. You can get an on compound for 25,000. On compound,
Wow.
3 bedroom and DSQ for
Mm.
25,000.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas that's not possible in Nairobi.
Right.
So to be honest, I think that also affects the mental health of people because I sit back in Nakuru and I'm always shocked by the stories, unfortunate stories I'm seeing in Nairobi, like even in terms of relationships and the, just people getting involved in crazy activities.
Yeah.
You will not really, it'll be Nakuru, but not much. But I think there's so much pressure here.
Mm.
And I think there's a lot of trying to keep up with the Joneses in Nairobi.
That
In
is very
Nakuru,
true.
imagine nobody cares. Like,
Right.
oh, you have a car. Oh, you are on Nduthi. It didn't matter. Like, in fact, when I moved to Nax, I became part of the Nduthi gang. Like, I
Right.
can panda Nduthi for 50 bob and quickly, as in very fast and in a hurry. Then traffic. So a lot of things that happen in Nairobi, I think, are also because of the pressure that are in Nairobi.
Yeah.
And for anyone who's thinking of moving out of Nairobi, imagine, just do it because the same opportunities are there. Okay, they say there's more cash in Nairobi, but Nakuru is just here. And with the digital world,
Right.
you can still do whatever you need to do. I mean,
Right.
COVID came, we went to online learning, online. Some people are still working from home till today, so there's nothing
Exactly.
impossible. So I think Nakuru would be a more peaceful place even for me to settle. I wouldn't want to settle in Nairobi.
Right.
Yeah, and I just think Nairobi is so congested, and thus just makes everything look crazy.
Actually, a
So
lot of
I
families
actually
are
judge you
moving.
guys. I'm just like, oh my god, oh my god, Nairobi, what's wrong with you guys? Yeah.
Hey, when you're coming down with your Molo line, you're over there like, oh my God, Nairobi.
Nairobi. I'm like,
It's
oh
the
my
ghetto.
god, there's traffic, there's traffic.
Guys.
Westlands, we are not moving. For like,
It's
I
true.
cringe. Yeah. So
Yeah.
like I'm even going back with a friend called Zeli. Shout out to you, sweetheart. She's listening. And like this is also a friend who I met and we just bonded and then we discovered our birthdays are one day apart.
Ish.
People are so warm and ready to, like I had an incident where my son was unwell and we needed surgery done, and just the support I got from the Nakuru farm. I'm not
Right.
saying that y'all wouldn't have done it in Nairobi, but let me tell you,
Yeah, stop
there's
judging us.
there's a big difference. There's a big difference. Like
Right.
friends who came, Jerry, Chella, like, and even a follow up after that. I think
Right.
it's different. So
Community.
community, and you won't find a lot of mental health issues and cases in Nakuru. They're
Yeah.
there, but you can't compare it with Nairobi.
Guy, you're just even compelling me to move.
And I think it's also the food. We get
Right.
fresh food.
Ish.
Yeah, yours has been passed through
GMO.
GMO. Yeah, so yeah, it definitely affects your life. Yeah.
I love it because a lot of people are usually scared of making any move
Yeah.
whatsoever.
Yeah.
But it's until you do it that's when you realize, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
you are leaving too much
Yeah.
behind.
Yeah.
So I really love that. I really love your testimony in
Yes.
regards to that
To that.
because yes, there's a lot of thoughts. A lot of people who are never really convinced, and that way, even they don't even advance in life
Yeah.
because of just that particular fear.
Yeah.
All right,
And
now,
just to mention, actually,
mm,
if you're an entrepreneur, and I feel like if you're in Nairobi, there'll be more exposure. So if
right,
you move with the same and bring it to Nakuru, you'd actually do well. And I think people are scared to do that. And also to mention that in Nakuru we have events that go on. People just believe we don't have nothing going on.
I know we've
We
seen,
have events that go on in Nakuru. The same thing that you'll get here is the same thing that you'll get there.
right,
So even in terms of growth, personal growth, you
right.
can still gain a lot if you're out of Nairobi.
Do you know I've always said that to a
Mm.
lot of people, but nobody believes me. I'm
Yeah.
like, we are so unique with our ideas.
Yeah.
Imagine if we just took it and took it to a town where they have never seen something like that, but they know that they need it
Yeah.
and they can make use of it.
Yeah.
How much money you would make if you just made that leap of
Yeah.
faith and moved.
Exactly.
So the problem is some of us have families, you have to talk to your husband.
Exactly. Yeah.
Then who could decide all these things. But
True.
for real, your idea could be the biggest thing, not in Nairobi, but it could be
Yeah.
the biggest thing in
In
Kisumu, it
another
can be
town. Yeah.
Nakuru,
In
wherever.
another city. Sorry.
In another,
City.
yeah,
Nakuru
another
city.
city, another county.
Yeah.
Yes, it can be the biggest thing anywhere else if you just, again, just decided to just take that leap of faith and just try.
Yeah.
There was
Exactly.
a Nigerian artist I hosted last week who
Mhm.
said the difference between Nigerians and Kenyans is
Mhm.
that Kenyans are very risk averse.
Uh-huh.
They never try to get out of their comfort zone
Yeah.
and they procrastinate a lot.
Yeah.
Whereas Nigerians will even sell their house to make that number one hit. And he says, like Nigerians, they have 5,000 new songs coming every week.
Oh my God.
5,000 new songs. But there's that
And
one guy who
movies.
believes. Yes.
And movies.
And
I
movies.
hear they shoot like 30 movies in a day.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But there's that one guy who believes I am going to be a star.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be a star by force, by fire.
Yeah.
And that's why they are flocking to Kenya
Yeah.
to actually just, increase on their stardom because
Yeah.
we make kings of people.
Exactly.
But anyway, I was digressing. But yes,
But that's a no. Even if that's a good point. Like just to tell people that you have to get out of your comfort zone
right.
to grow. Because you can't do the same thing and expect change. You can't do the same thing every day and expect change.
All right. Yeah.
And I think also in Nairobi, everyone is so not upset, like stuck on employment.
Very
kinda.
much. Yeah.
You don't want to go out and use your talent. Though I see with TikTok has created a lot of content creators and many. So
I
it has its
mean,
pros and cons.
Moya David is over here driving a Prado.
Exactly.
Like at
Exact-
26, I was like thinking about 26. I was like probably at Q's.
Yeah, we were
Like-
exactly.
People's
Exactly.
people's goals have become very different, and the landscape has become very different.
Yeah,
And again, you guys are just taking the leap of faith.
true.
All right, thank you so much for that one. So we'll just take one more break. Again, if you have any comments, just let us know, and we'll be sure to read them out. We'll take a break and then come and finish off with Miss is Adero Ocholler.
Roll the R.
Roll the R. Hey, for the feels. We just asked for Leah and then Nuku Joy just said it. Hey, she's gonna make people fall in love in the studio. Yes, that was Alia Levino. Absolute classic right there. And we're all about that throwback therapy. This is the breakfast jam extra hour. Hey, because we have the one and only Mrs. Adero Ocholler.
Roll it, roll it, roll it.
Roll the R.
Yeah.
Yes, it's been amazing just having you in studio and just chopping it up with you and just getting to know just a different way of life altogether. Because
Yeah.
sometimes, again, people just would like sticking within a box
Yeah.
and not trying to get out of it. And that's exactly what you did.
Yeah.
Just tell me a little bit about your support system and how you've managed to navigate with them behind you.
So support system, very, very, very important. I'm privileged first to come from a very functional home,
Right.
a very prayerful mother,
Mm-hmm.
and a very head-on dad,
Yeah.
straight government official, ex-retired now. They're both retired, but
Great.
I look back and I look around me and I'm just like, if I was not from such a setup and my siblings, you know, uh, I get so many people ask me how you guys like so in love as siblings. That
True.
makes sense. Yeah.
Mm.
Shout out Franklin, Keno, Manu, Terry. I love you. Yeah, my sibling
Mm.
Catherine and Fred, my parents. Yeah, so I think the support from my family, because we have different talents. You know, children you can never be the same.
Great.
So we have our Akili, we have a
Architect.
architect, we have a biomed person, we have
Mm.
a social worker, and then me who is
Jack of all
talents,
trades.
jack of all trades, communication. So uh, I think family is very important. So I have peace of mind
Right.
24/7. And then my husband, let me tell you, I'm those chicks of my